Ladies and gentlemen, so you just started on a new project, and on this new project they are using Vue. How do we get an overview of what is going on? It's actually quite simple with the Vue Vite plugin. I've showed you in the last video regarding Vue how to install this the Vite plugin from Vue. But the short story, if you didn't see it, is that you have to add something to your Vite config TS file like this, where you configure you add some default configuration like this, and of course you have to add you have to run in npm install on the plugin Vue as you see right there. When you have done that, then you can, whenever you start up your application, then you can see that then you get two URLs. You get one from Vite, and you start your Vite application just by running Vite. So you just run Vite, then it starts up, and then of course you have your local host right here, so where you can see your application. This is my application where I am creating colorings. So I can search for a cat, and then I can see here we have a cat. And then you also get another URL, which is right here with your dev tools. We also saw that in another video. The new thing right here is that you can also press Alt-Shift-D. So if you are at your local host, at your development server, then you can press Alt-Shift-D. And what happens then? Then this happens right here. Then you actually get the whole structure of what is actually going on. Then you can dig into the application. You can see what it consists of. The short view is if you go to the graph in the bottom, if you start there, then you can see which TS files that are used, and how the application is actually structured. And you can press around, of course, in the application still, and you can see still see the changes right here. We start with a VueJS file. We have a main TS file right here. We have a categories view. .view, we have an app view, search view, and about view. Okay, but maybe these files can actually be quite big. And if they're green, then you can see those are the files that you want to edit and look into. Of course, blue is also sometimes some of the files that you want to look into, but usually it's the green ones. And then you have all the yellow ones. Those are the dependencies that you're using. Those are right here. But Mike, there can still be quite large, these files are. How do I get an overview? Okay, so what you actually do is that you can go to I'll just press Ctrl-Shift-D again right here. So let me just refresh this page right here. You can maximize you can open it into the editor also, and you can but then it will open up VS Code per default. If that is your default JavaScript editor right here, you can press this little target box in the bottom right here. If I press this, then I can actually point to a component. Every time I hover above the component, then I can see which file it is located inside. So I can see this is the categories view.view, and it's line 265, and it's column 9. So that means that I can also press it if I want to, and then I can see what's going on. And if I go to my editor, I use WebStorm right here, and then I can find the categories view.view, and then I can go to line, 269 something. And then I can actually see that there was the drop-down box. Here we have the select right here, 265. So then I can see exactly what the code is. So even though that you are new on a project, then you can still navigate around like you are a pro and like you have been on the project for a long time. As long as you know where in the application it is that you want to change some things, you just use the target button right here, the toggle component inspector, and then you press the component that you want to target. Another cool feature is that you can also see how the page is actually built. If you press the components tab in the left side right here, you can see that this page actually consists of two components: the main app component, and I can also see the number of pixels, which is also quite nice. Then I can see that it has a categories view right here in the middle. I can also see if there are any routes. Right now I'm not using any routes. It's just some code that will change which component that should be shown at any given point in time. Of course, I could also have used routes. If I use routes instead, all of these routes would figure right here. I only have the root route which is right here. So that's quite cool. Then we have the timeline where if you want to see what actually happens when you press which event are being fired and which event are being registered by the different components, then you can actually do that by start the recorder right here. I showed you that in a previous video right here, so I'm not going to do that in this one right here. You can also see performance, see if there's maybe some, if your application, if it's lacking or something like that, then you can see it right here. Another thing is the assets. Here you can see which which assets that are included into the application. Usually there would be a logo. Sometimes you will have some images. This is a very nice overview, because sometimes you would also see that there's maybe you have some large images that might be, maybe you'll be able to make them smaller. And here I can see I have the logo SVG. I should of course change the default Vue logo right here for this application. Then I can add that to my to-do list also. So yeah, so it just gives this awesome overview of the application just by pressing Control Shift Control Alt Alt Shift D, yes, Alt Shift D. And if you don't remember the keys, then you can also see here you get some help from some other shortcut keys, which is Alt-K to toggle the command palette, and Shift Alt-D to toggle the dev tools. So if you press Shift Alt-D again, then it disappears, and it also does just a small. You still have the small icons in the bottom right here. And if I press it once again, then it appears, disappears. Yes, we got it, Mike. Okay. Alt-K. Let's try that one. Alt-K. The command palette. So then we can go in here, and then I can actually write what it is that I'm interested in. I can also get a nice color picker, so that's also quite cool. And I can click one of the components or some area somewhere on the page, and yeah. So now I'm copying it. Of course, you need to access to your clipboard. So now I have it into my clipboard. Then I have my color, the current color of whatever I was pointing to. So I can press Control V, and I can add it to my style sheets if I felt like it right there. So Shift Alt-D again. Shift Alt-D again. It needs to have focus. The reason why I have to press multiple times sometimes is because if the browser doesn't have the focus, then of course it cannot start up the development tools right here that we have right here. So let us press Alt-K once again. Alt-K once again right here. There are also settings, and then inspector, color picker, Vite inspect, graph, page. The inspector, I think that's the HTML inspector actually, or maybe it's not. It's not that, it is still the view. Okay, now it disappeared. Alt Shift D again, and there's also a project. Yeah, what is that actually? I think that is the view. That's the view. Those are views related stuff. And then we also have settings right here. You can set appearance to light or dark, and then you can this is only for the development console or for the development tool. So if you prefer a dark one, just press the dark one. Yes, Mike, we got it. But then if you have problems reading it, then you can just choose large or something else like that. Expand sidebars. You can also do that, and it's easier to read. If you don't just want the icons, you also want the labels on top of them, then you can choose expand sidebars, scrollable sidebars. I guess that's okay if there's too much in the page, then you need to scroll. So close dev tools when clicking outside. You can also add that feature. Then you don't have to find the keys, just like I had right there with Shift Alt D. Always show the floating panel. Yes. Minimize floating panel on inactive for 5 seconds. Yeah, why not? So there are a lot of settings right here that we can set. Components, you can also dig into the components. You can check all of the properties inside of a component right here. Actually, that was actually something really interesting right here, because I have, let me just minimize this one first. So here I have a drop down with a lot of characters. So I can see a cat, for instance, I can choose an activity that is should be raking autumn leaves right here. I'm going to reset these settings right now. Except for cat. So then I press Alt Shift D again. Then I can go to my categories view right here, and then I can choose. Then I can go look at the category field right here. So here I can see there are actually 4 categories. Animal. We actually have 4 different drop-down types. Animal, activity, background, and number of items, and all of these, of course, these are variables that I'm setting inside my Vue application. So I can go in here, and then I can actually, a lot of times I don't have to use the debugger, because I can just open the development tools, and then I can see what are the values, and if the values are missing, maybe there's a REST call that is not working, etc. Animal, Those are the animals that we can choose from. There's an alien also, and a giraffe, etc., bluebird. And what was the other one? Backgrounds that we can choose from: amusement park, a bakery, etc. again. So this is just a time saver. If you don't know about this, the dev tools, the Vite dev tools for Vue, then install it right away and then just try it out. It just makes sense just as soon as you start using it. Actually, show render code. Yeah. That is what it's rendered into. That is not as interesting again. Of course, it's nice if you have to really debug something, then you can see exactly what it has been converted to. The other one right here, scroll to component. Yeah, so that is if you have a very long page, then you can scroll to that to the given component that you are choosing right here. Filter state. You can also look for specific member variables right here. Or variables, then you just say, let's say I want to look for my print image, and I can look for print image right here. Then I get the output that I have right here. And here I can see the function. What does it do when I press the print image? That's also possible. Okay, so that is my code. So maybe I can already see right now that I had an error. Then I jump back to WebStorm, and then I fix my error right there. So it is incredibly useful. It cannot be said enough. You can also see your current version of Vue. Maybe you want to, of course you want to update this one. So you need to bump all of your versions with an npm update once in a while. You should do that, and and you should also run an npm audit once in a while. An npm audit fix will then bump your dependencies that actually have security vulnerabilities in them, unknown. Of course, it's only known vulnerabilities. They're finding new in in a lot of the dependencies all the time. So it's a never stopping job, of course, to bump these versions right here. Yes, that's actually in this graph right here. If you think it's a bit, if you think that's a bit much on it, especially if you have a large application, then focus on the green. Focus on the green files right here, and you can also see which files are calling each other. From this view already, I can see that my app.vue, it uses search.vue, but my search.vue, it does not use about.vue, for instance, or my search.vue file does not use the categories view. So I can actually see how it also, I can see my app view. This is the central right here, and that's because right for now I've chosen not to use any routes. That means that it is also, I'm using code to actually to determine which component that should be shown at any given moment. So let me and I can show that if I go back right here, and we press Shift-D again. If I go to About, for instance, and then I say, I'll Shift-D again. Again, I can press my components. This time I only have an About view. Now the categories view just disappeared. And if I go look at my graph, what's the graph? It will still look the same. It is just awesome. It's amazing. I think it makes it much easier to develop. And even though that I know that you can use, of course, AI, you can use Codex or Claude or whatever you're using. Gemini, then of course you still need to be able to understand the code yourself, and you have to make a review of all of the generated code, because or else at some point in time then something will not scale or something will break. Then you need to be able to understand what's actually going on in your own application. That's it for now. Thank you very much for watching, and thank you very much for all of your comments, but most of all, thank you for being you. Hope to see you again soon. Bye bye.